All right, everybody, welcome to this special episode of the Rundown Podcast. I'm your host, John Breeden, and my co-host, Ben Gorin, is not here today because this is a special club elections episode. And if he were here, this would be kind of awkward for him.
We'd make fun of him.
Yeah. Dumb bitch.
but I am joined today by two returning guests of the Rundown, the Vice President of the team, Dean Nymphos. Dean, how are you?
I'm doing great today. Thank you for asking, John.
And I'm also joined by the team treasurer, Mr. Urek, Jack Tate. How are you?
Don't fucking call me that. I'm doing all right. Dean's chair's a little squeaky, so I'm going to lose my goddamn mind this podcast.
Oh, it's going to be intentional the whole way through.
I'm excited to be here, John.
Very excited to be here. And also, Hughes and Nico are also here.
Present. Honorary
the,
member of cross country coming in.
We're at the famed 1557 recording this podcast. But first off, I just want to start out. Of course, the club elections are this Wednesday. Decide the new exec members for the upcoming year. So for the new people on the team, why don't you guys kind of explain how the elections work?
Oh, he's looking at me. All right, so basically it's a standard general body meeting format. We get the whole team. Everyone goes in, gets a bunch of ballots. You write people's names on it, and you vote for them. No. Jokes aside, though. What's going to happen is we'll have each position come up in order from president to vice president to treasurer, then secretary, and down to the other ones.
Did you just forget them?
Senior service.
I'm not on this
race.
team. How am I supposed to know? So everyone who's running for a particular position will go up and give their speech. Those speaking will be out of the room for their competitors' speeches, their adversaries, their mortal enemies running for the same positions as them. And they will go and give heartfelt speeches explaining why they deserve the position, why they think that they would be a good fit, and they walk off and then everyone votes. And the current exec member for that given position will ask them two questions. The current member will ask them one question and the president will ask the other. Thank you, Jack.
I was going to say.
And based on their responses, everyone else on the team will go in and vote for what they think will be best for the team in the future. You guys want to see me do a backflip on the podcast?
Yeah, do it. Oh my God! Holy shit!
That was actually impressive.
When did you learn to do that?
Dude, it took me a little while, I'm not going to lie.
I can't believe you pulled out that gadget to do it, too.
I know. It just spins me
You
around.
weren't able to do that freshman year,
I know.
All right, so Wednesday, it's a really big day for the team. We're going to learn who's going to be, the new execs next year. When you guys got elected, how did you all sort of prepare for your speeches and being elected? How did you prepare for that week?
For me, I ran twice. Didn't get it the first time I ran, or 3 times actually. Freshman year I lost. I was new to the team. Didn't know shit yet. Sophomore year, I just didn't win. And then junior year I win. And I decided I'm not going to prepare this time. So I'm a very impromptu speech guy. So I wrote down 3 points I want to talk about, and I just rambled for about 10 minutes about me. And yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah, so I didn't run until my sophomore year, and I also didn't really prepare a speech until a couple minutes ahead of time, just jotted random stuff down. I stood in a trash can for my speech. We had a lot of people running. I had to stand out. I don't know what you want me to say. It also distracted people from the fact that my hands were shaking, so that was great. But yeah, I just talked about what the team meant to me, my past experience that I believed was relevant for the role, and yeah.
Do you get clammy hands when you start doing speeches?
No. It just shakes. You'll see it. You'll see it.
Why am I going to see it?
You'll see it. You'll watch my hands.
He
always watches my hands.
Are you going to be afraid to ask a question?
Oh, 100%.
Huh? I guess you don't go to practice. You just make the practice schedules that no one follows, right?
Yeah, and everyone complains about.
Yeah.
Practice schedules for cross country.
I gotta post that
run a couple
one
laps.
Nico for VP.
Nico for vice president. I agree.
Are we going to talk about how I lost 2 years?
No, we don't care. This ain't your podcast, Jack.
But in all seriousness, our sophomore year, Alex Connolly was our president, and he pushed hard for absolutely everyone to run for a position. I didn't plan on it. I kind of got, I just thought, what the hell? Why not try it out? Let's see what happens. And that's kind of the attitude I think a lot of people had, and it worked out really well. So we want as many people as possible to run. If you have even the slightest idea that, maybe you want to try it, just see what it's like, I'd say go for it. It's a really rewarding opportunity.
I agree. I think definitely our sophomore year was the year where it went like the best. I mean, Alex, John, all of them, they did a really good job convincing people to run. I think last year was very tough because it was COVID. Most people were just either afraid to run or didn't want to run. And, I mean, even noticing now, we'll get into the election list, we have a lot of freshmen aren't running. It's a really weird one because usually we have a good bit of freshmen run, but I don't know what it really was this year, but I think the team's sort of shift. Can you stop pumping the keg, man? It's the middle of a podcast. My guests are dicks.
Hey, I'm living here.
But
this is my apartment too.
no, I'm really interested to see sort of where the transition is and how it's going to be, because it seems like we just have a lot of older execs, so it might be more team experience is good for it. But that being said, I forgot to crack my Hello beer, so.
Oh, Tate's got beer here. He's got Miller Lite.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was just drinking out of a
You gonna
can.
reference a hello beer right in front of me?
Hey, can I have some goodbye alcohol too later?
Okay, so moving on. How prepared do you feel this year's candidates are, for their speeches, and what sort of questions you're going to ask them?
From what I know so far, I mean, all the candidates I've talked to, they've really gone in depth because, I mean, it's a close race for most positions, in my opinion, where it's two people, or I guess race director is 4 or 5, but I mean, they're pretty close races. I think it's not going to come to boom, that's who I want to vote for. The other person I'm not gonna. I think the speech will definitely depend on it and the connections they sort of made throughout the year. Because I know in the next couple of days we're going to see a few campaign videos, campaign stuff coming out. It's going to be really exciting. I know, at least for Dominic's perspective, he said last year after he won race director, he started preparing for his president's speech. So he's really all in right now for his.
Yeah, it's a really good opportunity to kind of hear what the team means to people, too. A lot of people just talk about, again, the impact it's had on them, how they want to help bring that back to the freshmen and sophomores. I know that's why I ran. So, yeah.
And Tate, you kind of touched on it earlier, but how is this year's election different from previous years?
I think the team culture's changed from past years, I'd definitely say. I mean, definitely on the Brittany podcast. If you haven't listened, go back and watch. Great podcast to listen to.
And all the ones in between.
Yeah, especially the ones with Dean and I, where I have the most views out of anybody on YouTube right now for an individual guest.
So lame.
Hey, I did what I had to do.
Clicking the refresh button.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
Jack Tate bought views.
shh, don't tell them that. Well, you should make a rundown TikTok.
Run down.
Yeah, with all the clip highlights. That'd be kind of cool. But back to the point. I mean, our team culture's definitely switched from a very social drinking club to now a running team, which is really good because at one point I said there's no way that's ever going to happen. I was on the other side now. I'm on this side. I'm very happy for either side. But I think the elections have changed to people are wanting to embetter everybody for running. I think that'll be more interesting because in years past there's a lot of I want to drink, but I want to have an aspect on sort of our team's social side a little bit. So I think it's a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah, and also, historically our exec boards have been majority female, and this year was a sharp contrast to that. We only had Bree, which was sad. So thank you, Bree. Love you. So any girls listening, run, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Obviously,
We
can't now sign up for this year, but next year.
No. We'll let you in.
No.
I'll make exceptions. Caleb can suffer.
Bonk.
Hashtag ladies' night.
Hashtag ladies' night. But in all seriousness, we are not a boys' club. We do not intend to be a boys' club, and we want to keep the team spirit alive and keep us inclusive for everyone. So, yeah.
All right, well, let's go through the list of candidates here and their the respective positions they're running for. So first, we have president and vice president, both Dominic LaRusso and Caleb McNabb running for president or vice president. What are your thoughts?
I mean, John, I talked to you about this, I think, the other day. I was talking to Hughes earlier. I think this is a really, interesting move. I don't think they want to, sort of say, Dom's all right, I'm your new president, and that's it. I think their whole goal is they want to have the team decide who do we want our president to be, who do we want our vice to be. I think that's, very professional of them in that end, because, I mean, in one end, if I were, it was Hughes and I might be fine and say, no, I'm the president, fuck off, I'm taking over this role. But I think it's good on them to,
I'm
allow...
not your bitch.
I got a question. What if one of them wins both the president and vice
They
president?
can't.
They cannot.
Once you get elected,
They
for
become
one-
dictator.
Yeah. Our team is. I can't say that. But no, I think it's I really respect the decision by them for that, just to allow the team to decide who they want their president and vice to be.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that either way, they're both very good fits for either role. They're both great at talking to people. They're really nice, funny, sexy.
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 Hot.
Hot. It's
Smoking.
beautiful.
Gorgeous.
No, they're good at public speaking. They know the roles. They know what they need to do, and they know how to handle situations. And I've seen both of them put in the effort and just to handle things beautifully. So I think they're both a very good fit for the future of this team.
Sexy.
Sexy. God. The sex appeal really brings in new members.
I'd kiss him on the
You can't
mouth.
understate that. Do more than the mouth.
Your girlfriend might hear this, Nico.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, team treasurer, we have Joshua Klein and my co-host Ben Golden running for team treasurer. What are your thoughts?
I think they could both do a great job in the position. I have definitely talked with both of them recently about it because they're both very curious about what does the current treasurer do, because there are a lot of misconceptions.
Embezzle.
Embezzle, invest in Dogecoin. Hey, shout out St. Peter's, they're going to do some great things. No, but in all seriousness, they're very curious about how the budget works because, there's so many misconceptions as we've heard on the rundown and everywhere, and I really tried to make it clear to them, this is actually what I do. I'll show them everything I've done. Sort of say, if this is what you're interested in, please run. Because I think either of them could do a great job. I almost expect whoever wins it to at least reach out to me next year about some random question that I didn't make clear to them at one point. I've done it to our old treasurer, John Fritz. I've done it to Andrew McHale. I've done it to all these people, just whatever it is, because you never know exactly what you got to do with money. Because, it's a lot of money to deal with. You're like, oh my God, I have to last for a whole year. And now I'm coming down to the end of all I budgeted for. And I'm like, okay, I did good on this part, I did bad on this part, and I did really good on this part. So it's trying to balance everything and see how you can do it. But I think both of them could do a great job, whoever is elected.
What sort of advice did they ask you for?
A lot of it was about the budget. They were really trying to figure out what is this budget, how do I do it, how do you decide how many people are going to be on the team to decide, to charge dues. And my thing this year, I lowered our dues to lower than ever been, at least since I've been on the team and Dean's been on the team. So I dropped it down to $75 a semester. And I think that was a lot because just coming back from COVID, I wanted to make sure we could get more members on the team. So that means a lot more to me than having a little bit more money but less people on the team, because the team isn't as fun in as whole. So that was the main thing I did. And then also they're asking about social versus non-social dues. How does that work? How do you decide that? And there's a lot of me just saying I had no clue. It's a lot of just picking a number that seems pretty accurate and just trying to make it work. And that's why I got rid of the social dues aspect this semester. It just seemed it didn't seem to work really. Well, it's a good idea and concept. I couldn't find the best way for it to work, and I think both of them, they've already been planning ways to work around the new ways to do, and I'm interested to see what they have planned for it for whoever wins.
So, team secretary, we have our current team social chair, Lee Teixeira, running against Kira Wissing. What are your thoughts?
And Owen.
Oh, is he in there?
Owen
Yeah.
is
Oh,
also
awesome.
running.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Owen!
Let's
go!
We have some favorite here. Some of our,
We aren't specifically endorsing any candidates.
Owen!
But-
Owen!
Well, to be honest, the secretary position is probably the one that requires, I don't want to say the least prior experience, but it does require people skills. You have to be on time sending emails. And you're
Why are you
doing-
laughing at that, Dave?
Something
Secretary.
seems
might have missed a few last year.
on
That's all.
time oxymoron.
All right. Well, it requires you to be the first person that new members talk to. You're doing a lot of the recruiting. You're helping out the vice president and the president quite a bit. It is one of the core 4 positions. It's one of the quote-unquote bigger ones. And yeah, I think all of the candidates definitely have their own stake in it. I think all of them could do a great job. I feel like that's kind of a common theme, but everyone who's running for exec is very passionate about their positions. And again, something like secretary, you are, again, sending out emails, you're helping out with shirts and all of that. You have to have your own kind of personal flair to things. You gotta, talk to people.
Jade, any thoughts?
No, I mean, Dean stole a lot of it. I mean, it's a lot of just
Right, it did.
have.
Go ahead.
Fuck. I think it's a lot of like making it simple for everybody else that if they don't go to the GVMs or they don't show up to the interest meeting, making it like pretty clear in a concise, fun way. Here's what we did at the meeting and what we did. I mean, I've joked with Caleb, definitely over the semester, about what he's done. I mean, he's done a great job. I'd say, man, you should put like a cross-country wordle in the last email, maybe a crossword. I don't know, something fun. But no,
Yeah.
Dean said it all.
Yeah, well, not all. Actually, the secretary is also in charge of a lot of the important forms, especially the injury waiver forms.
You know, I haven't filled that out ever.
Better fill that out. Otherwise, if you break your leg, I'm not paying for it. It's coming out of your pocket.
Well,
Right,
I'm gonna be the one.
Yeah,
already.
If I break my leg, you'll pay for it?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Deal.
No, but in all seriousness, they have to take care of the roster, which is a lot of data entry, and you gotta have that organized, and you have to constantly be checking with people to make sure that their emails are up to date, that they're getting things, and it's just a very involved position.
All right, community service and fundraiser. We have 2 people running. We have Emma Stover running for a position, and she will be running against Blake Atkinson. What are your thoughts?
I think they both could do a great job. I think community service is one of those roles where it's you can have a lot of fun with it. Is you can really start reaching out to other clubs and really having like some really fun ones we could go to. I know we've done swim meets, gymnastic meets, like a lot of fun stuff that we could do with. I think it's one of those positions where you can have a lot of fun with it. And I mean, with the fundraising, you can go crazy. I mean, last year we did the assassin that Dean tied for the win.
I won.
It was a tie.
Won.
It was a little bit unfair how you guys played that. But
Whoa! How was that unfair? Because you couldn't figure out where he lived?
no, he literally stormed me when I was day drinking one day.
That rules of the game.
Fuck Cole Kerms. That's all I'll say. Dean, take it over.
But yeah, community service is also one of the more involved positions because you're working with, again, like outside people, I guess, like love packs. Usually we do stuff with the Harrisonburg Rescue Squad, like, just cleaning up for them. But at the same time, you have to be communicating all that with president and VP and also secretary to actually get that information out there.
Yeah. I mean, the other big thing, we need, like, UREC requires us 3 community service points and 3 fundraising points each year, and it's on you to be able to log that and have enough opportunities for everybody to do this. And I think that's one where it definitely gets stressful, and we try to help out as much as we can, and that's why we do semi sort of around the time we do, so people are like, oh, like, I'm not there yet, and I gotta, like, make up for it. I know with, like, the spring semester, it's usually a little bit easier community service as well because we have a Relay for Life, and you can knock out all your 3 community service there. I mean, I did that freshman year, Dean did, Jack did. I mean, it's, like, fun events that, I mean, they're good opportunities because it's not, like, a social event.
Welcome to the rundown.
Welcome to the Rundown Podcast. I'm your host, John Breeden, along with my co-host, Ben Goldering. Ben, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great today. Thank
The
you for asking,
co-host,
John.
alright.
So
Welcome
we're here
to
to
our
talk about
election
the elections, actually.
Yeah, we have a very special guest today, John Breeden. You
So-
want to introduce yourself? All right, I'll get back to it. But it's like a really good opportunity because it's not a social event, but it's a way where you can sort of work with other people on your team to do something fun. Like we've done concessions in the past and all the love packs. It's just great opportunities,
Yeah.
really.
Also, again, like a lot of the fundraising community service is fun.
Yeah.
Like half the fundraising, I don't say half, but a lot of the fundraising opportunities we do are just going to games together, and because we have a big team who
Yeah.
love to show up to things, we have like 40 people just filling up the stands and winning us a little money in the process. But yeah, you can do some fun community service events. You get to talk to a lot of really cool people. It's a cool position.
Cross country puts the fun in fundraising.
Social chair, we have our current social chair, Lee Teixeira, going for back-to-back years as social chair, and he is running against Katie Augustini. What are your thoughts on this race, Dean?
So, again, honestly, I think it'll be an interesting race to watch. Lee has the experience. He's done it for a year now. He's learned quite a bit. That said, Katie also actually had a freshman year with a, non-COVID social time.
Yeah, it helps you.
To learn and prepare for. And again, Katie's also been very, very involved with the team. Obviously, Lee's been on exec, so he knows the inner workings. He just knows what to do. He already has built a lot of those connections. That said, bring in new social chairs sometimes, talk to new, different people. It's always an interesting dynamic, and no matter who wins, I think it'll be a very good fit for the role. I know I'm saying that like every time, but really.
Yeah, no, I think same thing what Dean just said. Like, different perspectives are always good because you will mix with different crews each year. But at the same time, nothing wrong because you can always meet new people. I mean, every year at the club fair, I know our social chairs like to go around and meet every other club, try to get numbers and really just talk to them. And I think, every club does elections each year, so you always get to new people in positions. So, whoever gets it, I think they'll be able to meet a lot of different people, and I think that'll be like a great aspect because it helps like the team network with new people each year, no matter what, because clubs are always changing.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have race director. We have 4 people running. We have Micah Durrell, MJ Stretton, Ben Gorin, and Kyle Daniels. I hope I didn't botch any last names there. But race director, what are your thoughts on that race?
Personally, I think this will be the closest race out of all of them. Every single person there has such a good feel for the role. They're all very experienced. They know what they're doing. I'm also very glad that it's one of the more populated roles. It usually is. The race director is typically in charge of, organizing the races, especially the home meets, but also communicating with other teams, getting logistics set up, and working all that stuff out. It's a very, very fun role. As seen by Dominic at our home meet this year, he did a beautiful job, especially in cross-country season. It was a ton of fun. We had clubs reaching out to us saying it was the best meet they'd had in a long time. Again, it's a role where you can make it fun, but also make it good. Yeah.
I'd say out of the top 4, I'd say this one. I'd say this is one of the biggest roles on the team by far, because it's one of the ways the other schools actually know us. Because at least with this year, Dom has really been working to find us unique meets with unique people, and really trying to get some really fun meets. So we're going to UNC Charlotte this weekend because it's getting recorded. I guess the day before you're actually posting this. I don't know why I was trying to timestamp us on the 21st. That's not.
We're recording this on Monday. It's going to go out today, Tuesday.
Yeah. So, trying to spread out as many unique meets as possible while working with the treasurer to be can we afford going here? Because, bro, gas prices just suck right now, man. And I'd love for us to go to different meets, but gas is just such a pain. And it's trying to figure out where can we go. So I'm not trying to spend $500-$600 for people to drive to meet. And it's just bro, what? It's really annoying. And then trying to find a good hotel meet. Well, I know a lot of people really want to go to Pembroke this year. I did not want to go to Pembroke this year, so I really fought against Pembroke this year because I wanted to go at one later in the year when people are more conditioned and more like close with each other, so it's like a more fun meet because hotel meets are arguably one of the best meets we do.
Yes.
But at the same time, I mean, I've seen bad race directors, Frank Jackson.
Whoa, Frank for Praz.
Frank sucked. So we didn't even have a real.
Whoa. He
got
sucked up
impeached.
until he left.
He got impeached. As simple as that.
Sorry, Frank.
And we didn't even have a track meet our freshman year. We just did our own like home
Exactly.
meet.
All right. We had a home meet, but every team dropped out because our spring break was a week earlier than everyone else's.
Yeah.
The exec invitational. It was interesting.
It was fun, but after seeing AK and Dom do theirs, they did a great job.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to be like, well.
Yeah. Also, big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out
Huge
there.
shoes
This is
to fill. So I mean, it's one of the most important positions in my mind because it's what our club actually is. It's the running aspect. They try to get us the best possible ones. But all these candidates could do a great job with it, I'm sure.
Yeah. And also going back to what you said earlier about like working with the treasurer and all that, I do want to make it very clear that every position on exec talks to every other position on exec. I mean, everyone is constantly communicating. Our group chat is popping. It's lit. It's another cool word. I don't know what the kids are saying these days. Swaggy.
OP.
Boofing.
The chat is
Buzzing.
boofing.
It's on.
Let me tell you.
Shaw.
No, but everyone's always working
Yeah.
together, and even if, you know, I don't want to say even if you don't get your first choice position, although this sounds kind of bad, if you're passionate about the team, I would strongly recommend running for another one, and just, you know, see where that goes.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the lineup. Make sure everybody goes and votes on Wednesday. I guess the last question I have, I mean, kind of tell the team why should they come out and vote on Wednesday?
Well, it's mandatory, first off.
Wait, it is?
Yeah,
It is.
It was never mandatory before, was it?
Well, times are changing, Hughes. No, it's mandatory because
That would help me.
we want to make sure if you're paying dues, you pick your next exec. Like, you're picking the future of the team because, I mean, if you only have 5 people show up and all 5 just vote for their friend, it's like, well, is that the best person or is that just because they're friends? So, definitely, well, I don't want to say put aside all your personal connections with people. Really listen to the speeches, see what they can bring to the team. And, I mean, while also knowing them personally, what could they bring to it to really help the team out? Because they are making what we are now for years to come. So when the next freshman comes in, that's their first experience. They don't have what you had first off.
Yeah. Again, you should vote for the role, not for the person, as Jack said.
Yeah.
All right, any final thoughts, Tate, Dean?
Good luck to everyone running. I really look forward to seeing the exec board next year. No matter who wins, I think everyone there is really looking good.
Facts. And if you put Tatus Clutch in your speech...
No, don't do it. I will disqualify you, and I'm not even going to be there.
I will say you're my favorite freshman, sophomore, junior.
Vote
Simple
for
as
Mickey
that.
Mouse.
All right, Hughes, Nico, any final thoughts?
Do we want to break some news here? What should I call my,
No, we're not bringing
No,
it
I don't have
breaking
time. I don't have
news.
time to call for Claybo. Any
I'm
final
calling
thoughts,
Claybo.
Hughes?
I'm calling
Oh
Clay
my god.
Do you know Hughes gets his tires changed at Michelin and not Firestone?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not even joking.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I know, it's really fucked. dude.
You are
I-
disgusting.
I am so sorry.
Do
Like,
you?
Claybo?
You're trying to apologize.
Claybo,
Just
can we
end it,
break
just
some
end it,
news
just
real
end
quick?
And this has been the
All right,
Rundown Podcast.
so,
Thank you all.
I just want the assassination attempt on President-elect by Spitball. I want to know that there is a ransom out to stop it of $500,000. So if you could break that. From an anonymous source.
Is this real money or Monopoly money?
All right.
We understand that you had a bad
why
work
the fuck would I do it
man.
then?
All right. Thank you, Claybo.
I'm trying to afford the
Bye.
railroad.
That was Jack Claybo, everybody. Nico, any final thoughts?
Vote for John Breeden for every position.
And Frank Jackson.
Please don't
for
do
press.
that. Please don't. It makes
Please,
us so
please don't do that, everybody.
Frank for
Remember,
press.
it is legal
Frank for
and
press.
acceptable to write in Andrew McHale in every position. He will become a dictator, but it's okay. It's Andrew.
Dean will be here next year, so you could write him in. He will have to do it. He'll be forced.
I
He'll be forced to
will.
stay another semester. You know he's not graduating anytime soon, so just vote for him.
4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more.
And on that note,
All right, everybody, that's it. Come out to the elections on Wednesday. This has been the Rundown.
bye. I love you. Thank you for listening.
Let's go, Blur.
Kiss me on the.